Welcome to another Cardano update. So Cardano is currently in a fourth wave move down and it looks like it has bottomed. Well, I cannot confirm that right now, but we have an ABC structure to the downside, which looks like this. And we went oversold on the 1 hour chart, which is a good sign. And I mean, right now we should go in the fifth wave, which is right here. And this fifth wave will complete this third wave to the upside. Now, I want the fifth wave to get to at least 40.7 cents, but it could get way higher than that. And I'm expecting it to get to maybe like the 2.272 extension right here, which is at 42.5 cents. So keep an eye on that target zone. As you can see, this third wave right here went to the 2.272 of the 1-2 setup that we got right here. So we'll most likely go to that level again in the next wave. Now, of course, we don't have to get there. The 200% extension is enough for this third wave, but you know, we could always go higher and you have to keep that in mind. Now, to confirm that the bottom is actually in the fourth wave right here, first, of course, we need to hold the support levels. So if we do go to the 0.618 level, then, you know, you have to be careful because once we break below that, I mean, it's pretty much going to be close to invalidation and we don't want that. We want the chart to pretty much prove itself. So right now we need to go up soon. As you can see, we also had a cross on the 1 hour chart, which is a very, very good sign. And this probably means that the low is actually in. We got this cross first on the weekly and the monthly, if you can remember. And when we got it on the weekly, I told you that the price might do something. And yeah, the price did do something after that. And if you look on the daily, we also had it on the daily. So, you know, maybe this is a sign that something bullish is about to happen because last time we got a cross like that was right here. And as you can see here, when we got the cross, if you check out the daily chart, the price actually went down after that. And, you know, it did not get another low, but it went down quite a lot. And then a few weeks later, the price exploded to the upside. And right now, what are we doing? Well, after we got that cross right there, we got the cross right here, and now the price is going down just like it did right here. So maybe we'll just copy this exact same thing right here. And if we do, which of course we don't have to, but if we do, we could do nothing for the next, well, not the next, I guess the next 2 weeks. Let's just put this on the chart. If we put it exactly at the cross, that puts us right here, which is September 9th. So could the price continue dropping until September 9th? Well, of course. Is it going to? I don't know, because the wave count does not suggest that that will happen, but it could happen and we could invalidate the macro count. If you go in the 1 hour chart, you have to keep in mind that the invalidation zone for the 1-2 setup that we have right here is at about, let's say, 31.6 cents. So if we do get below that low, then, you know, I will have to reconsider the wave count because that's how Elliott wave works. So maybe we'll copy what happened previously, or maybe we'll copy what we did in the previous cycle. And if we check out what happened in the previous cycle when we had a cross on the daily and on the weekly and the 1 hour chart as well, I mean, we got one right here when we were in a 1-2 setup. So this was a 1 and then a 2 setup, and you know, we got a cross and the price pretty much did nothing for about 2 months before we actually did something. And then of course the price failed because of the pandemic, but I think it would have continued going up. So, you know, maybe that's what we'll do. We don't have to do that. As you know, the prices back then were much lower, so it was much easier for them to go up and down. So keep that in mind as well. And also, we do not have to copy what happened right here or what happened before the pump that we got right here. We could do something else. I mean, right now the daily RSI is currently at the yellow line, and if we do go below it, then yes, we might invalidate the macro count, which is not going to be bearish, but you know, we don't really want to do that. But do not forget, the price has been going down for the past 5 to 6 months, so if we do get another low, it's not going to be the end of the world, but you have to keep in mind that the invalidation zone for the first wave to the upside right here is at about 22 cents. So if we get below that, it's over for this wave count and, you know, it's not going to look too good. So like I was saying, the daily RSI kind of needs to stay above the yellow line, and not only the daily but the weekly as well. So as you can see, it's currently going down on the weekly, which means that if we do get below it again, we might do something like we did over here and over here as well. As you can see, we already tested it multiple times and we got rejected each time. So if we got rejected again, then yes, we might get another low in the second wave move down, which would not be too good for the price action, but you know, it might happen theoretically, but it does not have to happen. Now, I also wanted to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. It has not topped yet, but we are very close to a new top for this cycle if you go on the 1 hour chart. As you can see right now, we are at 57.63%. And the top for this cycle is at about 57.97%, so we are very close to getting a new all-time high in this cycle, which means that maybe the high is almost in, because if you go on the, let's say, weekly chart for this, we are not yet overbought on the weekly, and you know, maybe we just need to go to the overbought territory on the weekly before we start dropping, and then after that, like I said many times, we should get an altcoin season, and the Bitcoin dominance chart should do something like it did right here. So this right here was an altcoin season, if you can remember it. I'm pretty sure you can remember it. And you know, here it went from overbought to oversold. So who's to say that we will not do that again, you know? And of course, I do not know how much it needs to drop to get to the oversold territory, obviously. But let's say it drops to maybe like 45% or something, maybe even more, maybe like 40%. That's going to give the altcoins a big boost, which is needed because we need a third wave move to the upside after this 1-2 setup that we got on many altcoins. For example, ADA, ICP, Uniswap, Near, Link, Doge, AVAX, and even VeChain, Jasmy as well. Fetch AI, well, Fetch AI is already in a much larger third wave, so ignore that. But you know, a lot of altcoins need to go in a third wave move to the upside. And Bitcoin dominance is close to topping, so what does that mean? Well, that to me sounds like an altcoin season, but you know, this is only speculation after all. Now you have to keep in mind that we're still in a falling wedge, and as you can see, we touched the trend line right here and we got rejected by it, so the next move should get us above the trend line, and then the price should start breaking to the upside. And also, if we do go above the trend line right here, then we should also go above the bull market support band, because, I mean, why not? We have been below it for way too long. And if we do go above it, then I think that will be a confirmation that the low right here is in. Well, it will not confirm 100% that the low is in, but you know, it's going to be a good indicator because we have not been above it, like I said, in like 5 months. So keep that in mind. We are very close to it. We might as well get above it. Now let's also go in the monthly chart, because I have not talked about this chart in a long time. So the monthly RSI is currently down on the monthly chart and it's below the yellow line, and I'm expecting this month to be the last month that we close below the yellow line, because if we do it again in September, I mean, it's not going to look too good. Now, of course, you can say that we're copying exactly what happened over here, so we might as well do nothing for the next 2 months if we want to copy what happened right here. And of course, I mean, if you check how long this correction took, it took about 6 months, and right now we have been in a correction since, well, for almost 6 months. If we'll copy exactly what happened in the previous cycle, then the correction might stop in September. So, you know, you have to also be aware of that. Of course, there is still not a lot going on in the market right now, and I know it can be boring at times, but you need a lot of patience in this market, because if you have patience, then you get rewarded for it. Well, most of the time anyways. So, you know, keep that in mind. I hope you liked this update. Thank you to all of the new members for subscribing. We appreciate that a lot. And if you want to support the channel, check out our Patreon and our YouTube memberships. All of our Patreons and YouTube members get access to all of the charts that you see right here. So if you're interested in that, maybe check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.